You need to follow your intuition and ask yourself more often, do I really feel like I'm missing out on something right now, or do I just feel like I should be there because everyone else is there?
I seriously think I'm the funniest person I know, and I always laugh at my own jokes. I love taking myself on solo dates, and I just genuinely really truly love my own company. And so today I'm going to share with you the journey of how I became my own best friend and how you can do the same, and why I think this is absolutely the most powerful thing in the world that you can do for confidence and just for your whole life quality. Now let's sink into the spa. This feels so good. I have not been in a bathtub for, I feel like I want to say since I was a kid, but now I'm staying at this place in the countryside where there is literally a bathtub. It's a little bit small, but we're okay with that. We're just enjoying a little spa. So when it comes to becoming your own best friend, I truly think it's about this perspective shift from feeling lonely and to learning to enjoy, genuinely enjoy solitude, because loneliness and solitude are just not the same at all. And I hope this video can serve as an invitation to reframe being alone into something super sacred and powerful and beautiful and enjoyable. Also, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Astrid, and this is episode 4 of the Confidence Diaries, where we talk about everything from self-worth, body image, to how to learn to dress for yourself, become your own best friend. You get it, you get the point, and there are 4 more episodes coming up in this beautiful online sanctuary of a YouTube channel that we are creating together. And yes, I am talking about you and me, because I want you to subscribe and become a part of this online sisterhood, because truly there is no magic without you. I could not do this without each single one of you. So now let's talk about the difference, the actual difference between loneliness and solitude. I think in society we talk so much about loneliness as something negative, and it is really negative. It is really harmful to experience a big amount of loneliness in your life. But I think the sooner we learn to enjoy our own company, we can see this not as loneliness but as solitude, and also just learn how many people truly appreciate our company and how many people love us, because that is something that we just often forget. And when we forget how loved we are, that's when I think we start to feel lonely and not really able to enjoy our own company, because we're constantly stressing about the fact that we're not with someone else and that we should have like more friends. But in reality, it's really okay to feel the need to take some time away to yourself and just take yourself on a solo date and enjoy your own company. Like as a kid, I was always taught this phrase of how you only have the fun that you make yourself, and I think this is still so real going into adulthood. Like, why would I not laugh at my own jokes? Because if I don't think I'm funny, like, what do I even have left in this life? Because I truly do only have the fun that I make myself, and like the way that you see the world just completely defines like the fun that you have and the love that you experience. We can have so many people love us and so many people tell us all of these beautiful things, but if you don't believe them, if you don't look at yourself with these same loving and kind eyes, then you'll still feel lonely, like no matter how many friends you have. So work with yourself, work with your confidence, and work with your understanding of love. And appreciate your own humor, girl, because you are so funny and you are so loving and you're so kind and you have such unique gifts. Like, think about the fact, just pause and think about the fact that your gifts and your personality are so unique that literally no one else in the whole entire world has these same gifts and this same personality. just sit with that and appreciate that. Like, you were gifted this exact personality, this humor, and wow, you get to live on this earth and you get to enjoy your own company. How do we actually learn to love our own company? How do we build a life that feels like us and that feels like love and like genuine self-love? Like, I cannot even mention the first time that I truly enjoyed my own company, because I feel like I've been enjoying my own company for my whole life, and I know that's so easy to say, but really try and think about it. Try and think about when you were a kid. Like, try and think about a time where you genuinely enjoyed your own company, and what were you doing? How are you feeling? Like, maybe you could do that same thing again. Maybe it was just about drawing outside of the lines, or like dancing in the rain. I don't know. Writing yourself a love letter. There's so many examples of amazing solo experiences that I've had with myself. And I genuinely believe that the case is the same for you. So you can write down a list of not only this, but of other things as well that you want to do to light yourself up. And whenever you're feeling off, or whenever you have the time, just have a day to yourself. Take yourself on a date and do one of these things on your list, and make sure that you have the list available at all times, so that you always have a reminder on how you can tune into this self-love that you have deep within yourself. Personally, I love going to places that make me dream big. Like, when I'm walking in my favorite park and I have my headphones on listening to my favorite music, I feel like nothing in the world can stop me, and I just feel like I see all of my dreams and visions happening right in front of me. I truly just feel like I already am living my dream life, and I feel like those are the experiences and the feelings that you want to cultivate more of in your life. Another thing that I love is how doing things and going to places that make me dream big also just really sparks my creativity. So I think the last time I was in like a huge creative flow, that's actually quite funny, because I feel like that's literally right now that I've escaped the city. I feel like everything coming out of me right now is just poetry. Actually, I really want to hear in the comments, when was the last time that you just felt like you were living like in a poem, and everything you experienced was poetry, and you felt a sense of like creative spark inside of you, and your creative energy just taking over the whole world, like your whole body, you know, like such a beautiful rush. That is, I think, what I live for. Like, without my creativity, what am I really? I don't know. Like, it is the thing that truly keeps me alive and makes me want to breathe every single day, because I just love being creative. Also, I've heard that when we experience like a lot of stress, our creativity is the first thing to become affected, and I think that's just such a really important example of how big of a signal our creativity is of our life quality. So now that we've written this list, let's move on to some other tools that we can use to become our own best friend. First of all, what I talk about so often on here, and what I also talked about in the last episode of the Confidence Diaries, is that I want you to talk to yourself like someone you love. You would never say to your best friend that she shouldn't be enjoying her own company. Like, you would say, wow, I admire how good you are at setting boundaries and doing what feels good for you, and how much you love your own company genuinely. That's what we want to say to ourselves. Everything that happens within our brain, we honestly have the ability to shift into something positive. So the sooner we start telling ourselves that we're good at these things, the sooner we actually start believing that we are our own best friend, and that we do love taking ourselves on a solo date, that we do think we are genuinely the funniest person in the world. So talk to yourself with kindness. Talk to yourself like someone you love, because you do love yourself. I know that. And also, take yourself seriously. We have a tendency to tell ourselves, I'm not capable of achieving this thing. Why would I be the one to achieve this dream? When in reality, someone is doing what you want to do. Someone has achieved that dream, and people are achieving this dream all of the time. So if someone will achieve the dream, like why shouldn't that someone be you? It might as well be you as someone else. So if you're dedicated towards your dreams and if you plan your whole life in order to actually fulfill these dreams, then I can just not see your dreams not happening. Like the majority of people who don't end up living their dream life is probably because they give up at some point, but we're not going to give up. Like I decided to be a full-time content creator and I am telling people that I'm a full-time content creator and I am treating that as like my full-time job, and I have now speaking like 736 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And imagine, like, that is nothing compared to people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But imagine if there were 700 people in one room who came up to me and said, I genuinely really appreciate the value of what you share from your heart, and I'm gonna subscribe because I want to come back and I want to listen to you another time. That is a reminder I need to tell myself more often, that people do appreciate what I say. I'm definitely accomplished in what I do if I can inspire one single person, even just by showing up here and sharing genuinely from my heart. I think that is success itself. Like we actually really need to redefine the definition of success, because why should success be having a specific job or a specific education or a specific income, when in fact success could just be showing up for ourselves and loving our own company, taking ourselves seriously enough to follow our dreams. Another exercise that I absolutely love for this is to write yourself a love letter, maybe even a monthly or a weekly love letter. Something that I personally think is so powerful is to write a love letter in my ovulatory phase, which is my inner summer, where I'm feeling super high on energy and super outgoing. If I write a love letter to myself with like all of the things about myself that I'm grateful for and why I love my own company so much, and then I open that in my deep, deep inner winter where I just have no extra energy to show myself that extra love, then I can open this letter and it can like evoke all of these beautiful feelings inside of me, which I think is so lovely. So actually I'd love to hear in the comments, like, are you gonna try this out? Or if you've ever done so, how did that feel to you? Another thing that I really feel like we have to talk about is how being deeply connected to yourself truly makes you magnetic to others. And I can tell you like the perfect example in my own personal life. Before meeting my partner, I always heard this saying that in your love life, you will meet your partner like when you least expect it. And I never believed that to be true. I always thought you have to do something to actually meet a partner. At the moment, I just wanted to enjoy my own company and I just wanted to mostly be by myself, because I was finally in like the perfect place with truly enjoying my own company and having like so many fun creative projects going on. And then I obviously met my partner and really felt like the whole puzzle just fell into pieces and everything just made perfect sense, because I was so ready to devote myself to someone else, because I did not spend all of this energy on being negative towards myself. And this meant that I have so much to give to another person. Like I stopped waiting for others to give me what I could truly just give myself. And then like the love of my life even showed up and gave me even more of that. So I just got like tenfold of the love that I had expected. And I feel that is a very powerful example of how it definitely pays off to devote yourself to yourself. Also, when we think about people who radiate confidence, I think what they radiate most is that they genuinely believe in themselves and that they love their own company. And when someone who radiates this confidence is speaking about their dreams, I don't think anyone is going to tell them that they think they aren't capable, because they just radiate this
confidence, and then we all think like, oh, obviously this person is capable. And obviously they are, because we are all capable of creating a life that we love to live, and a life that is truly aligned with our deepest desires and values. And speaking about our dreams and reflecting on what our dream life is, I think we need to redefine what a full and rich life is, because this is so personal and individual. It's not like the more people you have in your life, the better you will feel. To redefine what this full life looks like, we obviously need to let go of FOMO, because the fear of missing out is like such a big obstacle in creating your dream life. You need to follow your intuition and ask yourself more often, do I really feel like I'm missing out on something right now, or do I just feel like I should be there because everyone else is there? An example could be, oh, I feel like I should be at this party because everyone else is enjoying themselves and having the time of their lives, when in reality I actually don't really like going to these parties. So maybe I just should not have FOMO. Maybe I should just allow myself to take a warm bath at home, read some poetry, watch a good YouTube video, or go for like a walk and look at the moon. To me, that sounds like the perfect evening. And as much as I love being with other people and dancing with other people, I think an evening like that is just as magical as going out with someone else. And I think spending more time like this really strengthens your intuition. So like the more that you listen to your intuition, the stronger it will begin to feel, and the stronger your intuition will begin to feel, the easier it will obviously become to just follow your intuition, and you won't be questioning yourself that much. Like maybe you're thinking right now, I don't even know what I want. Like I don't even know what my intuition is telling me. But like I promise you, it will feel stronger. Just practice. Everything in this life takes practice, and no one we know was just born with their ability to do everything. Everyone has been practicing whatever they're good at, and the same really is the case with our intuition. So sit down, allow yourself to take a little longer time to make decisions. Just sit down and close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths and ask yourself, how do I feel about making this choice or that choice, and see how each choice feels physically within your body. This will sharpen your intuition, I promise you. We really need to raise the standard of the energy that we surround ourselves with. Like we need to surround ourselves with the right people, the right energy, the right places. And obviously you're not always going to be in the perfect place. I often do things that I don't want to. I mean, this is just the reality of life. Everything comes with struggles and teachings, but we can switch that from seeing it as something negative and into seeing it as a teaching or a possibility to grow and to set better boundaries in the future, or to get to know new parts of ourselves. With that said, you do really need to raise the standard. Even if you think you have high standards with the energy that you allow around you, I bet that we can all still write down some different things that we need to get rid of in our lives. And this is a constant journey because we're constantly evolving, so there will most likely, most of the time, be something that you have grown out of. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a relationship, maybe something completely different, or maybe you're telling yourself that you are very dependent on being good at something that you actually don't like doing anymore. That is just one example, and I actually feel like it's quite a good example. That is something I've told myself so many times where I honestly wish that I hadn't. For example, it took me so long to make a proper decision to get out of the education that I was in, when deep down I already know in my gut that it was not the right place for me to be. And as soon as I realized that I had to remove myself from that, well, my life just changed 180 degrees. Honey, I became so much happier. Like, wow. I feel like such a different person. I just feel so much more like me than I ever did when I was in that place. And still, I'm grateful for everything that I learned, and my time was never wasted. But I'm just so grateful that I made that decision for myself. And I want you to make decisions for yourself as well that make you feel good. So yeah, I hope you set aside the time to reflect a little bit on that. With that said, I think I want to finish this video by saying two things. One thing is, remember that your solitude is sacred and it's important. And second of all, I challenge you to take yourself on a really nice solo date and maybe even bring a journal and document the experience, or reflect afterwards on how this made you feel and how you can cultivate more of that feeling in your life moving forward. And I also just want to say I'm so grateful that you landed in this safe space on the internet, and I really truly hope that you want to stick around. And if this video resonated with you, please give it a like and leave a sweet comment with your reflections on everything that we've talked about so far. And I absolutely cannot wait to see you in episode 5 of the Confidence Diaries.